Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we are talking once again about the rumor of Princess Bride being remade, or at least Hollywood elitist wanting to remake the film, which overwhelmingly has been rejected. In fact, one of my subscribers, JKD, you know who you are, man. He sent me a beautiful meme. And basically, it was the image of the round table with everyone putting their swords in the middle. And at every single person, you had Christians, atheists, every single group imaginable, Republicans, Democrats. And you know what the center point that every single one of them was coming in for? That they should not remake Princess Bride. So I think that's also something that we could definitely point to, that most people, regardless of who you are, where you stand, realize how beautiful and amazing the Princess Bride is, understand the sequel culture that we currently live in with Hollywood, and that we don't want it to happen. That is, except for, and this is no surprise to anyone, the very clickbaity, the very woke, the very stupid Mary Sue. Now, I've covered articles from the Mary Sue before, but luckily in today's story, I don't have to actually go to the website or give them a click or give them actual attention in that way, in that direct fashion, because my boy, John F. Trent over on Bounding into Comics has already done the work for me, giving me access to the quotes that I need to. And so as it says there, the Mary Sue promotes racism and sexism in call to remake The Princess Bride. So you heard that right. Every person, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter where you stand or who you are, have been able to come together and say, this is a stupid idea. Do not touch this movie. Do not touch it because it is fine the way it is. You're going to destroy it. You're going to ruin it. And of course, you're probably going to do it anyway because you don't care what fans want to think. And obviously that's because you haven't cared about what fans, care about for a very long time. But anyway, the Mary Sue's Kala Hale Stern, which just sounds amazing, openly promoted racism in a recent article calling for the Princess Bride film to be remade. Oh, it's been a long day of professional development. The only reasons to remake The Princess Bride would be to gender swap and diversify it. So that is the actual article headline on their website. The only reason to remake The Princess Bride would be to gender swap and diversify it. Is that what people want? Do people want to, people don't even want a general remake of the film, and yet you think, oh, they should remake it, but only if they're going to actually go woke with it. The only Princess Bride remake I'd accept is if the intent is to dramatically alter its current form. First of all, the original movie is painfully, blindingly white. This would need to be the first element upgraded for the 21st century. There's no reason why any character in a new Princess Bride couldn't be a person of color, and a fantastically diverse cast would be excellent to see, especially for the heroic Wesley. I'm already picturing John Boyega, and you can't stop me. Oh boy. That's right. Honestly, there are times in which I think that the Mary Sue is a troll site, because I know that they pick up on all the chatter, they pick up on all the videos, they pick on all the criticism of Star Wars and all the major franchises. And so they know how many Star Wars fans feel about John Boyega, especially with all of his behind-the-scenes commentary on various things. And so to me, it's no surprise that they pick someone from Star Wars to mention here, because they knew that that's what a lot of people on YouTube would be pointing to, because guess what? They're all about the clickbait. They're all about trying to get the headlines to go to their site. And honestly, that's why I honestly believe that, and again, part of me still believes that they are just complete clickbait trollery, and that they don't actually mean it. But then you realize that, no, this is not that amazing Twitter account that is all fake and is hilarious at doing so. Y'all know the one, if you're on Twitter, you know the one that I'm talking about, the one that pretends to be a woke female, but actually is not. In fact, I've been told that he's actually, I think, like a middle-aged man, but yet he's trolling everyone with it. It's fantastic. But no, these are people that actually believe what they say. They actually believe the things they say. Now, they might push it too far to get the headlines, to get the clicks, but when you actually start to read it and you hear their logic and their reasoning, and you read the plethora of articles that these people are putting out there, and you understand that these are real people that actually believe these things. These are the same idiots that are going to college to gender studies to figure out all this stupid stuff and wasting college education. And when they realize that they can't make money off of it, then they blame you because you're not offering them jobs for their completely worthless degree. And so what do? Oh, they start their own website called Mary Sue, where they go ahead and just talk about it nonstop and put it into so-called news articles. And here we are. But yeah, so basically, white people are bad. Again, according to the Mary Sue here, you can't have that anymore. You just can't. But of course, if you have a film that has a majority of any other race cast, well, then it's okay. Well, then it's fine. Oh, wait, it's a mostly Asian cast? Well, it's an Asian film, so why wouldn't it be? Yeah, okay, well, this is based off of an actual book. This is actually based off actual characters, and I'm pretty sure when the person was writing the book and the screenplay for it, he had a pretty clear vision in mind. Now, does that make him a racist? No. It just makes it a part of his own cultural experience. That's what you've always been pushing, right? Is cultural experience. That's how you justify various things and various people talking about various stories, right? Oh, it's a part of their cultural experience. You can't go after them for that. And yet when someone who is of different color skin than you, mostly white men, then all of a sudden, no, the cultural experience doesn't matter anymore. It's amazing the amount of hypocrisy that exists in every single thing you say. In fact, Hailstern declares that every single character could benefit from my diversity of casting. She does make exceptions for Miracle, Max, and Valerie, explaining because any studio that did not bring back living legends Billy Crystal and Carol Kane to those roles does not deserve to be making movies. Okay, so wait a minute. You are saying that they should destroy the film by, one, remaking in the first place, because that would destroy the entire premise. We all know this. That's why most people are adamantly against it. But you're okay with all the characters being race swapped, gender swapped, pretty much anything. And I'm sure that they're going to talk about Princess Buttercup in a second. But no, when it comes to those two characters, oh no, I mean, no one else in Hollywood could play those characters. Those are iconic characters, and those are legends, and so therefore they're fine. Even though they're both white people, which is kind of odd that you would actually say that's okay, but I'm sure they agree with you politically, so maybe that's the reason why. But of course, it's because they're just, crazy. I'm going to call this what it is, racism. This is the promotion of prejudice, discrimination, and antagonism directed against white actors and characters based on the belief that diversity of casting of other characters is superior. Exactly right. That is indeed what the Mary Sue is all about. They promote racism and sexism on a daily basis, and yet you don't see them getting taken off Twitter. You don't see them being put into Twitter jail. You don't see them getting demonetized. You don't see them losing anything. And the reason why is because Twitter, YouTube, all these giant corporations are on their side. So they will never actually take any action against them, even when they do things that people on Twitter from the opposite side have been taken down. You've had people that have been accused of racism that have had their entire platforms lost, not just demonetized, but taken away. And then when you have very clear elements of that in these articles from the Mary Sue, oh, no, that's fine. No, that's fine. If they had a YouTube channel, they would have a little check mark verified next to it. They'd be monetized. They'd never have any problems. And of course, they try and say, well, we don't have any control over it. You've had, the Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey, who's a complete nincompoop. And yeah, that's right. I said nincompoop, and you can't take it back. But he's gone on record to try and say, oh, no, there's no bias. No, it's just our algorithm and there's standards, etc. But it's interesting that your standards only affect one group of people and not another group of people. And it's been very clear that you go after people and that your so-called algorithm goes after people of one side of the political spectrum, where other people who actually do even worse things, who are either apolitical or part of a different political party that you tend to be a part of, get away with things, like including doxing and some really terrible things. Not to mention, there was one of my followers who I found out kind of the wrong way, because I was like, oh, let me go ahead. He's been messaging me back and forth. Let me see his profile. His profile was literally him retweeting and responding with actual pornography. So I ended up having to block his account, someone who was actually a follower of my channel, because I was like, okay, one, that's not cool. But two, wait a minute, you're telling me that they actually have that on there? And it didn't take very long to see that that's actually a problem on Twitter, but they don't actually really do anything about it. These are profiles that have actually been around for a long time. It's not hard to see, oh, account established during this date. This is what our kids are being exposed to. Any kid with a Twitter account can find that, can have access to that. Like, that's disgusting. That is disgusting that is okay. That is allowed for. That is somewhat times even promoted, one could say. And yet someone having an opinion from a conservative or right-leaning or, centrist position, oh my gosh, no. You have to be taken down, because we're going to declare you to be racist. We're going to declare you to be this. We're going to declare you to be that. That's just freaking ridiculous here. Anyway, this is, oh my gosh, this is crazy. She specifically wants this. Okay, so here we go. However, Kaylee Hailstein doesn't just promote racism, she also promotes sexism. She writes, but would further permit the idea of the new Princess Bride for a new century to take root in my head is if it had any of the roles are gender swapped. Again, this could be done with all the primary characters without losing their overarching storylines. She specifically wants Buttercup and Wesley gender swapped. So the simplest fix to shake up the entire Princess Bride dynamic is to make Wesley a woman and Buttercup a man. Oh my goodness. And again, this is not a troll account. These are people that actually think this. These are people that actually make money off of this. These are people that have shut down their comment section because they don't engage with actual free speech. And that's not just from people that disagree with them and want to have an honest discussion, because I have no problem with that. There are people in my comment sections that have honest disagreements all the time, and hey, I'm fine with that. It's when the trolls come in, that's when the problems arise. But of course, they will shut down anyone. If I say I disagree with them, that makes me a racist. That makes me a sexist. And that is pretty much the blame culture that we live in today. Where if you don't agree with one side of the political aisle, if you don't agree with one side of the political spectrum, you are suddenly the worst person that's ever existed. And I think all of us can come together on this. Whether you are a Democrat, Republican, centrist, independent like me, it doesn't matter what you are. Whatever you are, Catholic, Buddhist, Hindu, Jewish, again, no matter what it is you are, most people from any side of any spectrum can come together on this if you have seen it and love this film and say, you should not remake this film. And most especially, if you do the things that the people at the Mary Sue are suggesting, not only will you destroy the film, but you're going to piss a lot of people off. And no, you're not going to piss off a bunch of people that are so-called racist or sexist. No, instead, you're going to piss off everyday honest people that don't want to see their franchises completely destroyed by political narratives, which is something that's already happening way too much in our modern culture. This crap needs to stop. It's fun to crap on the Mary Sue. It's fun to make fun of them. But at the end of the day, the fact that there are people that believe their garbage, buy their garbage, read it, some of them even start to follow their garbage because of articles like this, is to me a danger. And I think that, in all honesty, if there's any speech that needs to be tempered or any speech that needs to be further looked into, it's speech like this. That is blatantly racist. That is blatantly sexist. But these companies aren't going to do anything about it because why would they? They agree with them. Anyway, what are y'all's thoughts about this? Again, you know very clearly how I stand on this thing. Don't remake this stupid thing. Like, seriously, don't remake it, especially with this stupid idea. But don't remake this classic. Do not remake this amazing film that we love. The film works for so many reasons because of the time it was made, because of the actors that are part of it, because of all the behind-the-scenes stuff that happened, because of the fact that it was a flop, because of the fact it was discovered on DVD and VHS and all these other reruns that happened after the fact. Those are what make this movie special. So if you try and capitalize on it by saying, we're going to put the name Princess Bride on here, but it's not actually going to be the Princess Bride, you are going to piss off people. And in the process, you are going to taint a wonderful film, a beautiful film. And dear Lord, don't listen to the Mary Sue, because at that point, you will have me actively boycotting it. Because, again, I'm not much for boycotts in general. I, of course, have my boycott of Disney, but that's because of a lot of things Disney has done. And obviously, you have a right to, to choose to continue to watch and support them or not. I will continue to stand on that side. But if this happens, again, I love this film. As someone that's read, read the audiobook or listened to the audiobook from Cary Elwes himself, and all the stuff he revealed in his book about the behind-the-scenes stuff that happened, made me love and fall in love with it even more so. The fact that my wife and I both love this film together and listen to that book together at the same time, it's special. It's special to me. It's special to a lot of people. And if this movie is touched by Hollywood, unless it is a 4K remaster of the original or something similar to that, a re-release in theaters of the original film with behind-the-scenes, videos, maybe interviews, modern-day. You can put modern-day interviews in with the actors. That's okay. That would be great. That would be awesome. Go ahead and do that. But don't destroy this beloved movie, please. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please let me know what your thoughts about this crazy article from Mary Sue are in the comments below. If you like this video, smash the like button, give me a subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.